What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. In preparation for this week's regionals for the Digimon TCG, I had a little idea that I would do a video talking about the deck that I'm planning on playing and some of the changes I've made to the deck since I did my last deck profile. The deck in question is Loogamon. So, Loogamon, as you might know, I am a big proponent of purple decks. I love purple decks, one of my favorite colors. I love the trash aspect of the purple deck. Usually that and the DP reduction of yellow are my two favorite kind of combo points. So I'm really into both yellow and purple decks. I have some history with yellow decks doing well at tournaments, and I'll get into that in a second. But hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. So, talking about it again, like I said, I love purple decks. In fact, the first purple deck I took to it might have been a regionals, but I think it was an Ultimate Cup, was Beelzemon, EX2 Beelzemon, which I think at that time I did Beelzemon with the hybrid engine, which was really, really good at the time. And I managed to get it in my first tournament. I managed to come in top 128. Wasn't too high. I think it was like 114, 115. So not just made it in there. But it was just, as my first tournament, though, it was really cool to be able to do that. So that was actually really awesome. And I'm always hoping to do better, get better prizing. And part of that is, going with what feels right, what feels natural. So at the last regionals, I took Melga. I thought Melga was going to be a good choice, and it was something that I could practice with and do well with in a short time period. And honestly, I didn't do as good with it as I thought I would. Other people who played similar lists did better, so maybe I just needed more practice with Melga, and maybe that was my failing point there. Really good deck. Might have been bad matchups too. I had a lot of Pokemon, a lot of Nubismon, hard matchups. Just being is that they were so powerful, and right before they got banned, right? And it's like I said, those decks were using the same engine that my deck used, which is why the engine in my deck was getting limited too. So with the Gabu X stuff. So we're gonna just go through and tell you what I think about this deck, and kind of the things that I'm thinking are good and things aren't bad. We do have the Baumons, right? So the Baumons are your best egg, the only egg you want to play. Straightforward into the kind of the meat of it. You need to play the Lugas. This guy's obviously better value for you because you push him up. You're getting tons of memory in a turn if you have an EG on the field or in your trash. You're getting tons of memory, which is what you need in order to maintain turn and go all the way up to Fenrir. So this guy's better, but this guy's a good option too, and he's something that you can pick out with your abilities like Helluger. So yeah, you need to play 4 and 4. You want to see this guy more, but you need to play both at max numbers. I've dropped the Drachmon. He's just, as much as the search is nice, he's kind of an inconsistency piece. You never really get to use his inheritable, but it is really good, and the fact that he's undead doesn't really help you. And so you can't summon him off abilities like the Fenrir Lugama, and so he's only really good for the one play. Instead, I have gone with one of each of the stun options. The Psychmon to stop players from reducing play costs, and the Gazimon to stop the Tamer or the memory gain except by Tamer effects. This one's gonna be really huge, I think, against a Pokemon, but I also do want to stop my opponent from reducing play costs. Reducing play costs is consistently happening in a lot of different decks, and I think that's all something you gotta watch out for as well. I don't remember if there's a purple guy that stops. I think it's Elecmon. I'm pretty sure there is one that stops your opponent from playing Digimon by effects. So maybe that is a better one. But again, since my deck does that, I could potentially shut down my deck if I'm not careful. I feel like both, like I've seen on both top lists, I've seen some people running 2 of this, some people running 2 of that. I think right now 1 and 1's a good option for me because it gives me both both options, as I'm not really willing to commit to one for this format, not knowing what it's going to bring. And I think I know I'm going to have a hard time against Anubismon in this format. Things that have stayed the same. We're still doing four Loogamon. We're still doing 2 of the new guy. I'm only doing 1 Fang. So I'm still doing the 2 Loogamon. It's just name-wise, you want to have a level 4. Again, this guy is so much better than this guy. Memory gain, everything. Like, you got to be able to attack and survive in order for this guy to go through. If you don't have your EG, sometimes that's hard, especially if you can't get up to Fenrir Luga. You're risking it all for the chance that you'll gain that memory back. So it is difficult, but you do want numbers, and that's why that's there. Plus, this guy can be really good inheritable with Chimeramon and being able to DNA Digivolve. So you do want that in there. It's really good on the field. It's really good off the summon. But this is the guy you want to see. Unfortunately, it's the same kind of thing. So we only playing 1 Fangmon, and that's because we've gone to 2 Tyrannomons. I feel like this is a better card because I'm not playing that Dracmon, but this guy has the same searcher potential. He can add up to 2 cards, and then you trash 1 in your hand. So if you get the EG, you get 2, but you're still trashing stuff, which is really good because sometimes I find it's hard to trash these. You want to trash the Black Gatos when you can. You're not always going to have the ability. I know you can do that with Fangmon, but you're not always going to want to play a Fangmon anyways. And at 2, you don't see him a lot either. So I think this guy's good. Plus, this guy's a blocker, and I feel like that adds value to the deck because sometimes the only thing that's standing between your opponent and game can be a blocker on the field. So having him in, at least one of him in the trash to summon and have a blocker on your field can be huge. As well as the ability to search out those cards and add those pieces to your hand and then trash things that you want in the trash, like the Black Gatomon. I just find that this is a little bit better than that, especially because you can add you can add your SOC pieces to your hand and then trash things like that. With this, I think this is perfect. 2 of that, 1 of this. This is really good because it summons off the security. It draws you cards, so it gets you into your pieces, and it interrupts your opponent's trash, which is super important. So I still like that, even though Pokemon has been neutered. So I think that is perfectly fine like that. But I am thinking that the Tyrannomon is a little bit better than the Fangmon. It is an SOC card, and the blocker is just really good. I mean, this is like when attacking on play, so that's really good too. I just, it's hard because it's just, there's not many times you want to play it other than off the Fenrir Luger. We're still doing the same for the ultimates, 4 of that, 2 Chimera. I'm a proponent of only 3 Hellugermon. I find that I would rather have more options for level 4s, and so I will always kind of lean towards cutting the one. I've seen it done both ways. I think that this card is one that you have ways of getting it back. You have the Fangmon that you can summon to add it back to your hand. Most of the time, you don't trash this when you'll keep one of these in your hand. So a lot of the times you'll trash other stuff. So there's a good chance 3. I've never had a problem with it, but we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, we don't need to talk about Fenrir. We're playing 4 Fenrir. I personally think that this is a better card than Death Exmon. The board-wide 5k minus is really good in my opinion. It stops your opponent from going, and they have to get around this and potentially nuke the board even further. And then you still have the ability to hatch, hatch a Digi-Egg and stuff like that. Plus, you get recovery +1. It's a hard guy to deal with, to contend with. It's 15k body, and I think it's really good. So I like that. Potentially better than Death Exmon. I mean, after that, you already know we're playing 4 EGs, 4 analog youths. The only other thing that I can say differs from other decks is with the trainings and the boosts. I play 2 Missed Memory boosts. I like Missed Memory boosts because I feel like this deck doesn't trash enough. I don't play Gabumons, so I want to be able to get stuff into the trash so that I can make the most out of the abilities. while still getting memory. And I don't want to put EGs on the bottom of the deck. I don't want to put analog youths on the bottom of the deck if I don't have to. I don't want to put a ton of stuff on the bottom of the deck that purple memory boost will, and you don't have to worry about that with mist boost. Just trash 2, draw 2. And I think it's really good, and that's preferably the way I like to play it. But again, other people like the memory boosts, and I just think it's not necessary in general. So I mean, that is my take on the deck. I've been testing. It's working out really good. I'm excited for the regionals. I feel like I'm going to get thrashed by Levia, but we'll see. It'd be nice if I had somebody to play that played Levia, because that would actually kind of be nice. But I feel like I know the combos. I can figure it out, and that's one thing I like about purple is I always feel confident about learning the different combos in the deck. So that's one thing I think is important, and I really enjoy about the game. And I'm going to be playing Fenrir Loogamon, and hopefully my doggy deck will do me better than my last doggy deck for the last one. But still think Melga's great. I just think I have a better handle on this deck, and I think that will help me. There's a few things I wasn't sure about last Ultimate Cup with the Melga, and that proved to be a little bit of a problem going into it. But this deck, I'm more certain about a lot of the rulings, and that's something I feel is really good. So tell me what you guys think. Do you think that this is a good deck? Do you think this is going to be one of the top contenders of the format? Do you think it's going to get outshined by the big old alligator, Loogamon? And do you think I might get thrashed on the weekend? Tell me if you guys are going to go to the regionals. It'd be interesting to see you guys there. Hopefully we'll have some matches, and hopefully I won't get thrashed. But anyways, looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day, and that's all for now, folks.